Before you assemble your unit, you need to measure the floor to the ceiling height. You need a minimum ceiling height of 2 meters 200, as it says here. The ceiling height is required for when you stand your unit up, because when you stand it from here, when you've assembled it up like this, the top corner could catch on the ceiling if the ceiling is lower than 2 meters 200. In this video, I'm going to show you how to assemble a single wardrobe from the Modular Range. It is always advisable to assemble your unit on a piece of cardboard. This protects the side panel and the front edge of the unit when you're moving it around. Please read the assembly guide, because there is a lot of information on here that will be helpful when assembling your unit. On the front of the assembly guide, it tells you what panels you have in the box, what hardware is required, and the minimum tools required to get the job done. One end panel here, taking away the back, and then turning this panel over here. So we have the back, so we have the panels groove to groove. This is the top of the unit, and this is the bottom of the unit. The bottom of the unit has two 8mm dowel holes here. So now we open up the single robe carcass box 1 of 2. The side panels are box 2 of 2. We then take out our shelf. The shelf is 22mm thick and it has an ABS edging on the front edge. ABS is a tough edging strip, and all of my assembly fittings are in this cardboard foldy at the bottom of the shelf pack. I'm going to be building this with the shelf here with the hanging rail just underneath it. I then put my metal dowels in. These are my metal dowels. And then before I move further down the panel, I put in my wooden dowel, tapping it until the sound changes. That's far enough. If you tap it too hard, you'll punch it through. I then fix 4 more metal dowels to here, which is for the back rail. And then further down the unit, I fit the last 4. I then put the 8mm wooden dowels in, and I put the cams in it. The cams themselves have an arrow telling you which way they should be put in. This arrow should always point to the outside or raw chipboard edge of your panel. Push it in like this. If you put the cam in slightly wrong, you just turn it around with a screwdriver to point the right way. So that's the top and the base. We then put the cams into your back rail, like so. I now put my back rail in, tighten it up. The base panel goes in next. And while I'm down this end, I'll be fitting the plinth. It goes in like this. I then go up the top of the unit and fix the top panel. The cams go on the inside of the unit like this. And then taking my end panel, like so, tighten the cams up. It is best to pull the unit and then lay it onto its front, like so. That gives you plenty of access to slide the back panel into the grooves. You fix the back across the top using the nails supplied, making sure it's square. You can use the back to square your unit up. So first one in here. I'm going to be fitting 4 panel protectors. They go here, here, here and here. Not only do they protect your panel, but it makes it easy for you to move your unit around. I can now stand the unit up, ready to fix it to the wall. You should always fix your unit to the wall using these L-shaped brackets. You can pre-fit these to your unit by doing this. That is where I'm going to put my screw. That enables me, if I need to move my bracket forward or backwards. And this screw has been supplied for that purpose. Through a small hole. You can fit the shelves anywhere within this unit. The recommended position is just above your hanging rail, so I'm going to fit my shelf here. Using the metal shelf supports, I'm going to screw these in here. The shelf is actually supported on these, which you need to insert into your shelf. You have 4 of these, all 4. And taking the shelf with the ABS edge into the front, insert it into your unit, knocking it down like so. The hanging bracket consists of 2 brackets, 2 Euro screws and 2 standard screws. So I'm going to screw that in like that. Okay. That. 2 standard screws, we put those in here. Unwrap my rail like that. The hinge comes in 2 parts, the hinge plate and the hinge. The hinge plate has an arrow on it. This arrow goes to the outside of your unit. The hinge itself has 2 hooks. Those hooks literally go under there like that, and when you push your hinge back down, it clicks onto your hinge plate so it doesn't fall off. The quick release mechanism is you just push this button here and the hinge comes off. I'm going to fit the hinges to the door, and there are 4 hinges to a full height door. I'm going to be fitting my door to the left hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the door and use it to mark where my hinge plates go. In your assembly guide, it shows you where the hinge plate should be positioned, and if you count up the number of holes as indicated on the assembly guide, your hinge plates will be in the correct position. The first one is hole 2 and 3, and making sure my arrow is pointing out. 1, 2, 3. And then working my way up, it's hole 17, 18, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And 35 and 36. 33, 34, 35, 36. And the last hinge plate goes in hole 52 and 53. I now take my door and clip it on. If you clip your door on working from the top down, if you happen to let go, it shouldn't fall on the floor. 1, 4. In each of your single wardrobe packs there are 4 door buffers. You peel them off like this and then stick it to the outside edge of your wardrobe. If you need to move the door across the unit this way, you turn this screw clockwise. Anti-clockwise takes it back. If you want to move the door in or out, you have to loosen all 4 of these screws on the 4 hinges, and the door can then be moved out or in, and then you tighten that up again. And if you need to move the door up or down, you loosen all of these off on all 4 hinge plates, move the door up or down, and then tighten them up again. Once you're happy the door is adjusted correctly, you put your cover plates on like this. When you have more than one unit, you should join them together, and when using this type of joining bolt, you drill a 5mm hole through the two end panels and then screw in the two parts together, and that pulls the unit nice and tight.